So now we're gonna move to the third topic of how to manage your stress and studying tool to help you learn successfully. So the first one is to keep your life in balance. Because it doesn't matter how much you go to school, you can be a full-time or part-time, you have to make sure you take care of your life area, health, stress, career, relationship. Those areas will never go away. And the more you neglect those areas, the more stressed you become, the more you cannot learn, which means, again, it diminishes the whole purpose of going to school. So that's why being a part-time student is important. So you can have time to take care of all these four areas. So the next tip is break time. When you are studying, it's so important to take breaks because it's for our brain, not for your body. Because the brain uses a lot of blood cell, water to think. And after every hour, your blood cell and your water is gone, which means when those two things are gone, you can't think successfully. And when you can't think successfully, you can't study successfully. So in this case, and your brain also need water. So that's why every hour, stand up, get a cup of water. Because did you know that when you lose focus, concentration, or when you get irritated, or when you have a headache or get angry, it is because you are dehydrated. And it's true. And so after every hour, get through the water, and then walk 3 to 5 minutes to recharge your body, pump up your blood cell. So when you come back, you're in a better position to think. Eat healthy, which means, I mean, you don't have to eat something every hours, but if you're like studying for 5 hours, maybe you can eat 1 or 2 times to give that your nutrition. And not only about eating snack, but in your daily lifestyle as well. Because like, again, our body use healthy blood cell to think. And healthy blood cell come from healthy nutrition. So the more you eat healthy is more for your brain. So like, for example, the reason why I try to eat healthy is not really for my body. It's for my brain to think well, because I'm always in my office so much that I sometimes I get lost focus, and eating healthy is one aspect of it. Because did you know that the number one cause of mental retardation is malnutrition? And if you don't believe me, you can do your own research, and it is true. And that's why eating healthy is so important, not only for your body, but your mind, if you want to really become productive. And another thing is, if you drink water every hour, if your body is functioning well, it will force you to go to the restroom every hour. So which means every hour, even though I'm lazy to get up, but I still have to get up because I need to use the restroom. So that is another opportunity to force you to get up. So every hour, I will get up, drink a cup of water, use the restroom, walk around for 3 to 5 minutes, and then come back. And my mind is a little bit better to think and focus. And if you have a hard time, set a reminder. So like right now, one way that helped me remind is my Fitbit. I wear my Fitbit to remind me sometime. So on my Fitbit, I set it for every hour where it vibrate. So it remind me to get up to walk. Or if I'm not wearing my Fitbit, then on my cell phone, I set a reminder to go off. So remind me to get up. Or if you don't use your cell phone, you can use your laptop. Now there's so many ways where you can set a reminder where a sound go off, so remind you to get up. And so those are ways that I use and are effective. But there are so many other ways that you can use. But it's so important for you to take break, because when your brain is so tired, no matter how much you force your brain to study, it will not give you the result you want. And not only that, you get irritated because you say, why can't I come up with a great answer? And when you have trouble coming with a correct answer, that means your brain is tired. The brain is not working well to help it come up with a successful answer. So, and that's why taking break is very important. So the last one before question and answer is to make sure you have enough time to do your tasks. So assignment. So like, for example, let's say that you only have 1 hour to study. So in this case, you want to do an assignment that only require 1 hour to do it. So you can actually finish the task of that assignment. You want to prevent cut off in the middle and then come back. Because like, for example, let's say you only have 1 hour, but you have a chapter to read that's like 50 pages long. And you know that you won't finish in that 1 hour, which means you have to stop in the middle of somewhere. But if you stop in the middle of somewhere, the brain doesn't have enough information to process correctly, or enough to process to give you that information to store in your memory. And so when you come back and continue, you might forgot what you read before, which means you have to repeat of reading it, and which means you waste time of rereading it over again. So that's why if you have an hour or 2 hours, you want to pick assignment that you can finish doing it well within that time frame. But if you truly have to split it up, then you want to split it up correctly. So let's say that you have a book to read that is 30 pages long, but you have to somehow split it up. Then you want to make sure to split it up correctly in sections. So let's say that the chapter have 4 sections. Make sure to stop at the end of the session and not in the middle of the session. At least when you stop at the end of the session, you still have at least more complete information for the brain to work, so it won't forget. So when you continue the next session, that's still okay. But ideal is to finish all in one session if you can. But if you have to split it up, make sure you split it up in the right portion. Make sure it's at the end of the session. That will give the opportunity for your brain to get the knowledge to help you absorb it successfully, not waste time. Because again, as a college student, we don't have a lot of time, right? So we don't want to waste time. And most importantly, help you get things done a lot faster. Because if you have unfinished tasks or unfinished reading assignment, the brain doesn't like that. Our brain doesn't like things to be unsolved or unfinished. And that's how one reason stress develops, because we have so much unsolved problem. So it's the same with school assignment. We want to finish things as soon as possible in a setting, or if you can, make sure you split it up in a clear, successful way where you can still become successful.